Now today I'm going to be making a leek potato and onion soup. Very easy to prepare, not that expensive to make, and it tastes delicious, so give it a go. So for making this soup, I'm just going to go through the ingredients I'm going to use. Now I've got myself 4 medium-sized leeks. Now what you need to do is trim up both ends, so cut off the dark green bit and the very tip at that end. Then you need to wash them. A good way of doing that is get a knife, make a cut halfway down all the way along, and then that should allow you to open them up, run them all under cold water and try and wash out the layers, because you sometimes get a bit of dirt or grit trapped inside. So try and wash them all. Once you've done that, you just trim them all up into sort of chunky pieces and they're ready to go. Now I'm going to use 1 onion, peel that, chop it down fairly fine. I'm also going to use 1 clove of garlic. You don't have to, or you might want to add a bit more, but I find 1 just gives it a nice flavour. 4 medium-sized potatoes, just peel those, chop them down. You can use most potatoes for doing this, you know, because we are going to blend it all anyway, so just need to sort of boil it all down really. Butter, I've got 40 grams of that. Then we've got some milk. Now I'm going to add 1/4 litre, so it's 250 millilitres of milk. The one I'm using is full fat milk. Bouillon, now this is a vegetable stock, this one, and it's a powder. Now I'm going to use 3 or 4 teaspoons, that's a small spoon, of bouillon powder, and the amount of hot water I'm going to use is 750 millilitres, so 3/4 litre of stock. Now that's your other alternative. These are, you know, little sort of blocks of vegetable stock. If you're going to use the Knorr ones, you probably want to use 1.5 of those for, again, 750 millilitres of boiling water. And then we've got some salt and pepper. So, you know, you need to season it all. And that's all the ingredients really. Now, I've got a nice bit of bread sitting in the background there, because when you're serving up a nice, simple, delicious soup, it's good to have some really tasty bread. So see if you can get some, you know, whatever you fancy really. So what I'm going to do is get it all prepared. I'm going to go over to the hob and we're going to get on with the cooking. Now I'm going to use this sort of cast iron pot. If you haven't got one of those, don't worry, you could just use any sort of good sized pan, because obviously you need to get it all in with the liquid as well. So I'm going to start off with the butter. Just going to pop that in. Now also I am going to add just a little tads of extra virgin olive oil. It just makes a really nice flavour and goes with the butter. So a little bit of that. Let's switch the heat on and, you know, just bring it up initially, maybe like a medium heat, and then we'll eventually turn it down. So let's switch it on. So now the butter's melted and it's come up to heat. Now I'm just gonna pop this all in. Start with the leeks. Get at the same time, we can put the onion in there. It doesn't even hurt. Just put the potatoes in there, because we're going to give it all a mix around. So let's just try and get everything covered with that butter and oil. That's it. Now I've given that a good mix around, so it's all got a little bit of oil and butter coating. Now, a good time to season it. Do season it well, so a good pinch of freshly ground black pepper, and also some salt. That's it, just to get it on its way. We can always test for seasoning later on. Now what I'm going to do is put a lid on it, turn the heat down to a slightly lower heat, fairly low, and we're just going to let the vegetables sort of sweat in the pot. So, you know, it doesn't hurt now and again just to come and give it a toss around, and just leave that. I would say probably leave it for about 15 minutes. And then afterwards, we'll just add the garlic. Now I've been sweating down the vegetables for just coming up to 15 minutes. So again, let's just give them another quick move around. That's it. Like that. Now I'm also going to put in the garlic. So just pop those in there. And I'm going to leave those just for a minute or two longer while I go and boil the kettle, and then we're going to put the stock in there. So I've just boiled the kettle and I've measured out 750 ml. Doesn't have to be 100% exact. Now let's get this bouillon powder. And I'm going to put in 4 teaspoons of that. That's it. Now we can then just pour that straight in the pot. So let's just take the lid off. I'll just get that last bit out. That's it. Now again, give it a quick move around. Like that. We can also just put in the milk. And really, that's all of it in the pot now, apart from just tasting it for seasoning later on. Now what I'm going to do is put the lid back on. Now with the soup, I'm going to leave mine on a low simmer for about 30 to 40 minutes until all the vegetables have softened right down. Now make sure it's a low simmer because you have got some milk in there, and if the heat's too high, it's going to sort of, you know, bubble over. So try and keep the heat down and just give it an occasional stir now and again. So I'll see you in about 30 to 40 minutes. Now I've had the soup simmering away for about 35, nearly 40 minutes. I did check it just before half an hour, but it wasn't quite soft enough, so I just gave it a little bit longer. Now what I'm going to do is switch the heat off because I think that's all softened down nicely, and I'm going to get my stick blender and we're going to start blending it up. Now what I would say is normally when you sort of use the stick blender, it's better to let it all cool down slightly, just in case you get splatters on you. It'd be really hot. Now I am going to do it when it's hot, but going to wear an apron for this bit just in case. So I just left that for a minute or two. Now I'm going to blend this up. Now I'm going to do it on a low speed. Got my stick blender, quite useful these things. Just going to start on a low speed, try and break it down, and then I'll speed it up. There you go. I think we blended that. That's thickened up nicely. That is going to be delicious. Now let's just try it for seasoning, see how it is. Because before you serve it up, we want to make sure it's, you know, you might need just a pinch of salt or whatever, black pepper. Let me try that. Blow it, it's going to be hot. Oh, it's lovely. Really nice. I think it would benefit just from a little pinch more salt. Not a lot, just a little bit. And also, I do like me black pepper. So I am going to add a little bit more in. Lovely. Now, I would say that's ready to serve up. So I'm going to take it over to the table, get myself a plate, a little bowl, and serve it up. I'll just put 2 or 3 ladlefuls. Nice and thick this soup, lovely. Just add a little bit more. Yeah, that's good. Right, let's pull the pot out of the way. Now, what you can do at this point, you could put a little sort of swirl of single cream if you want to sort of decorate it, you know, add a little bit of extra creaminess. Now I'm actually just going to use some chives, got, you know, some fresh chives out of the garden. So I'm just going to sprinkle some of those on there, just to give it a little bit of colour. That's it. Now also, I have got a little bit of pancetta, thin pancetta. It's like streaky bacon, not quite the same obviously, but I am just going to add a little bit of that. Just going to break that up. I think I'll just lay that there. So now I've got that little bit of pancetta. It's just a nice little extra surprise. I mean, obviously if you're vegetarian, don't put the pancetta on there, but it's nice. It could be a bit of streaky bacon, and it's just a little extra flavour, a little bit of saltiness when you get a piece. Now I'm just going to try the soup. Oh yeah, nice. Oops. Nice and thick. Oh, it's lovely. Really nice flavour. You can taste the leeks, and it's just a little bit of onion. You've got the garlic there. They're all very subtle, but they all work together, and that's absolutely delicious. And obviously, you know, get yourself some nice bread. I've got a nice bit of crusty bread, get stuck in with that. And I've got that little bit of pancetta as well. So I'm going to just try a little bit of that pancetta with it. That is gorgeous, really good. You don't need a lot, just that little bit. It really, oh, it's a lovely little topping that. So go and make this. It's nice and easy and it's tasty. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. The Original Naked Chef. Delish.